Well, good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, March 4th, and Bart and his brother were supposed to be going to Jackson Hole. So Kate and I had planned a girls' day, and then his plans got canceled. So anyway, we are still going ahead with girls' day, only Bart will be here. So I'm going to try a new soup. Her boyfriend's grandma makes a carrot ginger soup. So I found a recipe for one. Mine is actually called Silky Harissa Carrot Soup, but I was not able to find harissa paste anywhere. Online it says Smith and Walmart sell it, but you have to order it. So we're just going to do the substitute, and that will work out just fine. I just wanted to show you a few things that every kitchen should have. I always have a bunch of onions on hand. I usually have a fresh lemon. Always have lots of garlic. And I like ginger, so I always have some fresh ginger. Another thing is a good spice drawer or spice cabinet, however you keep yours. We keep ours in a drawer. This is my spice drawer, and there is not everything, but a lot of things. My 3-year-old granddaughter loves to open this drawer. Actually, I think she's 4 now, but she says, "Ooh, Grandma, this smells so good." So today we are going to be using some cinnamon and some cumin, and I'll have to get out the rest of my ingredients. Okay, the first thing the recipe calls for is a diced onion and sauteed in olive oil until it's soft. So okay, we need a tablespoon of olive oil in this pan. And if you've watched my other video, where I made chow mein, I always rub the olive oil on my hand, softens the skin. Use a fancy spoon because that makes me happy. This is my mother-in-law's pan. She gave it to me. She's gone now. We miss her, but she gave it to me. Bought a new pan. Then she didn't like her new pan and she wanted this one back, but I didn't give it back. All right, these need to saute for about 7 minutes till they're soft. I love the sound. Wish you could smell the smell. Okay, now it's time to peel our garlic. Not my favorite thing to do. There's probably easier ways, but I'm just old-fashioned, so. Okay, it also calls for fresh ginger, which I love fresh ginger, and the easiest way to grate fresh ginger is with a microplane, which every kitchen should have. And if you'll freeze your ginger first, it makes it way easier. Okay, now I'm getting the spices ready. It calls for a half a teaspoon of ginger, and I like to put my ingredients in little cups. That just makes it easier to dump it in the pot. And make sure you measure it right. It called for cumin seeds, which I didn't have, but I'm just going to use half the amount and use ground cumin. So we've got the dry ingredients in this one. Then this is my grated ginger. I'm going to add my chopped garlic. And I mentioned in the beginning it called for harissa paste, which I could not find. And I will order some, but for today we're going to do the substitute, which this was just the simplest substitute. Called for a tablespoon of tomato paste, and if you've never bought it in a tube, it's really handy. You can open up a 6-ounce can and freeze what you don't use, but this just makes it really nice. It will stay in your fridge for up to 45 days after you've opened it. So kind of handy. And then just a little bit of hot sauce. We like sriracha, Tabasco, whatever you have. All right, so we've got our onions all sauteed and ready to go. And now you put these in your pot. You want to just cook them for about a minute to make them nice and fragrant. It just brings the flavor out a lot more. So we dump our spices in there. Just let them heat up and get so you can smell them. And then after that's gone for about a minute, we are going to put in 4 cups of vegetable broth. And I like to use this brand, so that's what we're using today. I've already mixed it up. All right, now we need 3 pounds of carrots peeled and chopped. So I just weighed these. I've got a little more than 3 pounds, but by the time we peel them and chop them, I'm thinking it might be just about right. And Bart's gonna help peel carrots. Okay, this is another item that every kitchen should have. It's a scale, and since I don't want the weight of my bowl, I put the bowl on first, then I turn it on. So we're at 0, then we add what we're trying to weigh, and we needed 3 pounds. And I think we're gonna be just a little bit under, but that will be all right. Well, we're only at 38. We needed 48. All right. Okay, we're ready to put in the carrots, and I did have to peel a few more because I was short about 10 ounces, but now we're right up there. So we'll dump these in. Try not to splash them all over the place. And then we need 2 teaspoons of salt. And it's easier to measure it. You just take the lid off. Although my spoon doesn't fit in this one very good. And the recipe also calls for, and lots of soup recipes do, for pasta water. So the other night I cooked a pasta dish and saved the water. This container holds 3 cups and I only need 2. I'm not gonna measure it. Just gonna eyeball it. We'll call that good. All right, well, the carrots were supposed to be fork tender, which they are now. So I'm gonna move my pot over to my sink. And then I have an immersion blender that I'm going to try using. And this thing's really old. Our second son gave this to me when he got his first job and started earning some money. And so I've probably had it for 30 years and it still works. It's awesome. Okay, so I've done pureeing it and it looks really pretty. Now the last 2 ingredients are some fresh lemon juice, and this is my lemon juicer. I'm not measuring this. It calls for 2 tablespoons, but we'll call that good. And a tablespoon of honey, which I'm also not measuring because that's messy. And so we'll just eyeball that. Can't go wrong with honey, right? Okay, we'll mix those in and then see what it tastes like. Pretty good. Okay, girls' night would not be complete without something made with chocolate. So, for my birthday, my mom gave me this cookie press. Anyway, it has lots of different designs there, which is kind of fun. So I've picked 3. Got this one makes a heart, and this one makes, where is that one? A buttercup. And then in here, the one ready to go will be a teddy bear. So try that out. It has 3/4 of a cup of butter, so that's 3 cubes of butter. That's a lot of butter. And I've cut it. It's room temperature, and I've cut it into cubes. So hopefully it will mix up pretty good. In that we put a cup of sugar, and then you do your dry ingredients together in this bowl. Oh, I haven't turned it off. So we also need 3.5 cups of flour. Don't lose count. This is 2.
Well, I think that's your third one.
It's only 2. Now this one's my 3rd.
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right.
And then I need a half. And a half a cup of cocoa. Cocoa's always messy. Always. And then you whisk these together so that they are, well, so they're together. Okay, so our butter and sugar is light and fluffy now, which is how it was supposed to be. The eggs go in one at a time, and I crack them into another container first to make sure I don't get any shells. Then I'll add it to my bowl, and I'm gonna do the vanilla with the first egg. And I've lost my spoons, thanks. That has a whole teaspoon of vanilla. That's a lot of it. I mean, a whole tablespoon. That's a lot of vanilla. Anyway, that's good stuff. Okay, now we're going to add our flour and cocoa, but you don't add it all at once. We're going to put a little bit in and then mix it up a bit and then put a little more in. so now it's time to fill the cookie press, and I've never done this before, so if anybody out there has a better way, I would be glad to hear it, because I don't know. I mean, I guess this isn't too bad. And now you've got to get it compacted in here so you don't run into air bubbles. All right, so I've got my dough in here. You put it down next to the, I use the Silpat silicone baking sheet. I like these. Then you just pump your handle once, lift it up, and okay, here's our cute little teddy bears. We'll put them in the oven for, I think, 10 minutes, and we'll see how they look. All right, so the cookie press was super fun. I can't wait to have the granddaughters over and make cookies. There's hearts and flowers and butterflies and teddy bears, and there's more to choose from. So that is done. And I usually marinate my steaks for a few hours before I cook them. So here's what I use, plus some garlic, and they're in a bag ready to sit in the fridge for a while. And we'll make some homemade garlic butter and garlic bread later when it's time, closer to time for dinner. And we'll have our soup, our steak, our garlic bread, and cookies. I forgot to go down. I was going to get my movie. We're going to watch Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and it is delightful. It's really cute. I've seen it, but nobody else has. So that's the movie we're watching. Thanks for coming along.